We're going to continue on with our study of the Gospel according to the Hebrews. We're up to chapter 26. It says, "When Yeshua had finished all these words, he said to his disciples, 'You know that after 2 days the Passover is coming, and the Son of Man will be betrayed and delivered up to be crucified.' Then the chief priests, the scribes, and the elders of the people were gathered together in the court of the high priest, who is called Caiaphas. They took counsel together that they might take Yeshua by craftiness and kill him. But they said, 'Not during the feast, lest a riot occur among the people.' Now when Yeshua was in Bethany, the house of Simon the jar maker, a woman drew near to him, having an alabaster flask of very expensive ointment. And she poured it on his head as he was reclining at the table. But they were indignant over the waste. For this ointment might have been sold for a great price and given to the poor. But Yeshua, who knows everything in regards to any matter done, said to them, 'Are you making an accusation against this woman? Truly she has done a good and marvelous work for me. For you always have the poor with you, but you don't always have me. Her pouring this ointment on my body refers to my burial. Most certainly I tell you, wherever this good news shall be preached in the whole world, what this woman has done will also be spoken of in memory of her.'" So, I just want to highlight something. At the beginning of verse 10, Yeshua, who knows everything in regards to any matter done, said to them. There's a lot of things I talk about in various videos where I'm showing you the words of Yeshua and things that he said and warnings that he's given. And people want to dismiss what he says. There was a person today, a woman, who was upset because of the video on the 7 warnings that Yeshua gave about Paul. And she was saying, it was very odd what she was saying. She was like, a true believer would just hope that what Paul said was true. And it's like, no, a true believer believes what Yeshua said. Why are we calling him Lord, Lord, and we don't believe what he says? Yeshua, who knows everything in regard to any matter done. I mean, is there really a stronger recommendation that you can give someone to listen to him? He knows everything. So why are we even questioning it? Peter says in the first chapter, or the first book rather, of the recognitions, the Nazarene Acts, he says, once you've established that Yeshua is a Messiah, you should believe him in everything. Don't go picking and choosing which of his words to believe. Verse 14, "Then one of the 12, who was called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and said, 'What are you willing to give me if I deliver Yeshua to you?' So they promised him 30 pieces of silver. From that time he sought opportune time to deliver him to them. Now on the first day of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Yeshua, saying to him, 'Where do you want us to prepare for you to eat the Passover?' And he said unto them, 'I have no desire to eat the meat of this Passover lamb with you, but rather go to the city, and there you shall meet a man bearing a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house where he goes, and you shall say to the master of the house, The teacher says, my time is near. I will keep Passover with you and with my disciples.' Now when evening had come, he was reclining at the table with the 12 disciples. As they were eating, he said, 'Most certainly I tell you that one of you shall inform against me.' They were exceedingly sorrowful, and each one began to ask him, 'It isn't me, is it, Master?' He answered, 'He who dips his hand with me in the dish will sell me.' But all of them were eating from one dish. Therefore they did not recognize him, because if they would have destroyed him. Yeshua said to them, 'The Son of Man goes to his fate, even as it is written of him. But woe to that man through whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would be better if that man had not been born.'" Judah, who sold him, answered and said, "Perhaps it is I, Rabbi." And he said to him, "You have said it." And as they were eating, Yeshua took bread and blessed God and broke it. He gave it to the disciples and said, "Take and eat. This is my body which is given for you. Do this as an oath to me," which is essentially the meaning of "do this in remembrance of me," as we discussed in a recent video. He took the cup, gave praises to his Father, and gave it to them, saying, "Drink from this, all of you, for this is my blood of a new covenant, which will be poured out for many for the atonement of sinners. But I tell you that I will not drink of this fruit of the vine from now on, until that day when I drink it anew with you in the kingdom of heaven." Yeshua arose from supper and laid aside his outer garments. He took a towel and wrapped a towel around his waist. Then he poured water into the basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel that was wrapped around him. And he kissed the feet of each. So when he had washed their feet, he put his outer garment back on and sat down again. And he said to them, "Do you know what I have done to you? The kings of the Gentiles rule over them, and those who have authority over them are called benefactors. But not so with you. For one who is the greatest among you, let him become the younger, and the one who is governing as one who serves. For who is greater, one who sits at the table or one who serves? Isn't it he who sits at the table? But I am in your midst as one who serves. But you are those who have continued with me in my trials. I confer on you a kingdom, even as my Father conferred on me, that you may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom. You will sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel." When they had sung the psalm of praise, they went out to the Mount of Olives. Then Yeshua said to them, "All of you will be offended in me in this night, for it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock will be scattered. But after my resurrection from death, I will be revealed to you in Galilee." But Peter answered him, "Even if all of them will be offended in you, I will never be made to stumble." Yeshua said to him, "Most certainly I tell you that tonight, before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. Peter said to him, "Even if it is arranged for me that I must die with you, I will not deny you." All of the disciples said likewise. Then Yeshua came with them to a place called Gethsemane, and said to his disciples, "Sit here while I go there and pray." He took with him Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful, grieved, and downcast. Then he said to them, "My soul is grieved unto death. Support me and watch with me." He slowly went forward a little, fell on his face, and prayed, saying, "My Father, if it is possible, take this cup from me. Nevertheless, let it not be according to my will, but according to your will." And there appeared to him an angel from heaven, strengthening him, saying, Be constant, Master, for now comes the time in which, through your passion, mankind, sold in Adam, will be ransomed." He came to the disciples and found them sleeping. He said to Peter, "What, couldn't you be vigilant and stay awake with me for 1 hour? Be vigilant and pray that you don't enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. But that which is weak shall be saved through that which is strong." Again, his second time he went away and prayed, saying, "My Father, if you are not able to remove this cup from me unless I drink it, let it be done according to your will." He came again and found them sleeping, for their eyes were heavy. He left them again and went away and prayed a 3rd time, saying the same prayer. Then he came to his disciples and said to them, "Sleep and be at rest. Behold, the time is come near, and the Son of Man is delivered into the hands of sinners. Arise, and let's be going. Behold, he who betrays me is at hand." While he was still speaking, behold, Judah, one of the 12, came, and with him a great multitude, with swords and spears, from the chief priests and elders of the people. Now he who betrayed him had given them a sign, saying, "Whoever I kiss is the one you should arrest." Immediately he came to Yeshua and said, "Shalom, Rabbi," and then he kissed him. Yeshua said to him, "My friend, what have you done?" Then they came and laid hands on Yeshua and took him. Behold, one of those who were with Yeshua stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck the servant of one of the priests and cut off his ear. Then Yeshua said to him, Put your sword back in its place, for all those who draw the sword shall perish by the sword. Do you not understand that I can meet my enemies, and indeed, if I asked my Father, he would even now send me more than 12 legions of angels. But how then would the Scriptures be fulfilled with what is intended to be done? Afterwards Yeshua said to the multitudes, As if we were thieves, have you come to take me with swords and whips? Was I not with you every day in the temple teaching, and you didn't arrest me? But all this has to come to pass, that the writings of the prophets might be fulfilled. Then all the disciples left him and fled. They led Yeshua to the house of Caiaphas, the high priest, where the scribes and the Pharisees were gathered together. But Peter and John followed him from a distance to the court of the high priest. John was known to the priest, since he was the son of Zabdi the fisherman, and he often brought fish to the priest. John spoke to the girl at the door, and she let him and Peter inside, so they entered in and sat with the guards and servants to see the end. Now the chief priests and the Pharisees and the whole council sought false testimony against Yeshua, that they might put him to death, and they found not even one. Even though many false witnesses came forward, they found none. But at last 2 false witnesses came forward and said, This man said, I'm able to destroy the temple of God and repair it in 3 days. The high priest stood up and said to him, Do you not answer anything against the testimony that these are bearing against you? But Yeshua stayed silent. The high priest answered him, I adjure you by the living God that you tell us whether you are the Messiah, the Son of God. Yeshua said to him, You have said it. Nevertheless, I tell you, after this you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of Yahweh and coming on the clouds of heaven. Then the high priest tore his clothing, saying, He has spoken blasphemy. Why do we need any more witnesses? Behold, now you have heard his blasphemy. What do you think should be done? They answered, He is worthy of death. Then they spat in his face and beat him with their fists on his back, and some slapped him in the face, saying, Prophesy to us, you Messiah. Who was it that hit you? Now Peter was sitting at the entrance of the courtyard, and a maidservant came to him, saying, Were you not also standing with Yeshua the Galilean? But Peter denied it to her, saying, I don't know what you're talking about. When he had gone out to the porch, another maidservant saw him and said to those who were there, This man also was standing with Yeshua the Nazarene. Again he denied Yeshua with an oath and said, I don't know the man. After a little while, those who stood by came and said to Peter, Surely you are also from this prophet's group, for it is clear from your speech that you are one of them. And he denied it and swore and cursed, I don't know the man. Immediately the rooster crowed. Peter remembered the word which Yeshua had said to him, Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. Then he went outside and wept with bitterness of soul. All right, that was kind of a long chapter, so we'll pick it up next time in chapter 27.